Hi guys, I'm Laura Vitale, and on this episode of who's Laura Kit? On this episode of Laura in the Kitchen, we're making shrimp po' boys. I love this sandwich. Whenever the opportunity comes where I can order a really good one, I always do. And I was talking to Joe, my husband, and I was certain that I had shared a recipe with you on this years ago, and I was doing some research on my website, and I was like, there's no shrimp po' boy sandwich on laurainthekitchen.com? Who am I? How did this happen? It is so easy. This recipe is so incredibly easy. I feel like it sounds a lot more complicated than it really is. All it is some batter, some shrimp that's fried, and then you serve it on roll with some remoulade and lots of shredded lettuce and dill pickles if you want to, whatever you desire, some tomato. It's so good. Let's run through it. You'll need some shrimp, of course, shelled, deveined, all the goods. These are just like medium, large-ish size. Couldn't find any nicer ones that were larger, but we're gonna go with those. And I find that the smaller ones are a little bit better in terms of staying on your roll. So we're gonna go ahead and use those. For the spice mixture, I've got a combination of Creole seasoning, paprika, cayenne, granulated onion, granulated garlic. Did I say paprika? Paprika. And some dry thyme. I'm gonna use all of this mixture in all three things. I'm gonna use it in my dry mixture here, which is flour, and cornmeal, along with that seasoning. I'm gonna use it in my shrimp, and I'm gonna use some of it in my remoulade, which I've got some mayo, dill pickle relish in here. I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit of that. You can absolutely use what you want, and by no means am I saying this is an authentic recipe, so don't come for me. However, trust me when I tell you, it's absolutely dynamite. To the shrimp with the spice, we're gonna go ahead and add some buttermilk. Give that a stir, like so, like that. And I'm gonna go ahead and add a bit of hot sauce. I'm just using Frank's. It's my favorite hot sauce. Use your favorite hot sauce. Use whatever hot sauce you have on hand. Obviously, you're gonna have to adjust the amount. If you're using Tabasco, you're not gonna wanna use a couple tablespoons. You're gonna wanna use a few dashes. So just keep that in mind. And all I'm gonna do now is just give this a little cover and pop it in the fridge for a bit. I'm only gonna pop it in there for like 10-ish minutes. But in a normal world where I'm not filming a recipe for you, I would leave it in there for at least an hour. So I'm gonna go ahead and cover this, and then we proceed. While the shrimp are just sitting for a few more minutes, I'm gonna go ahead and just finish off the remoulade, because honestly, the longer, like the earlier on you make it and let it sit, the better it tastes. I'm gonna go ahead and take a couple cloves of garlic. I'm gonna do one simply because when you grate it, that garlic just becomes so much stronger. And I'm gonna use a shallot. And all I'm going to do, using a coarse microplane or any zester you want, I'm gonna go ahead and grate the garlic and the shallot right in. Just like this. It's gonna take a few minutes because you want it to be like pulp, okay? Because if you go ahead and mince it, which you completely and totally can, then the pieces they become a little bit too overpowering for me. But obviously, you can just chop them really, really fine, and it's all good. But I just like this method because then you get what I call the oniony juices, and it just mixes throughout everything really well, and it is top notch, my friend. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that to the garlic as well. Gonna add just a splash of Worcestershire sauce, Worcestershire, the tiniest bit of hot sauce, because I also have that Creole seasoning in there, which is actually quite spicy. Just a bit of lemon. And when I added that dill pickle relish, you can do regular relish, but for me, it's gotta be dill pickle. I added a little bit of the juice as well. It's making my mouth salivate. It smells so phenomenal. Let's give it a taste. Listen, I would put that on a shoe and I would gladly eat it. So that's delicious. It's got a perfect combination of tanginess to spice to heat to flavor because you can really taste the spices, definitely the shallot, definitely the garlic. I'm obsessed. Okay. Then you just make your station. In here, remember, we have the combination of cornmeal, flour, and the spices and the seasonings. You're gonna just take your shrimp, you add it in, and then you coat it. If you want to make it even thicker and even a bigger coating on the shrimp, just do it twice. I tend not to because I think then you just get too much breading. And if you get too much breading, then it's just too much bread on the bread. Does that make sense? So I'm just gonna go ahead and do one nice generous coating on each one. And I'll get my oil preheating as well while I'm doing this. Drop your shrimp. I do a few at a time because I don't like to drop the temperature of the oil too much. Crank that up a bit. Get that go. And I'm just gonna cook them a couple minutes because shrimp, as you know, takes a couple minutes to fully cook. And I'm gonna go ahead and drain them on a paper towel lined plate. Then I'll get my rolls ready, shred my lettuce, slice some tomatoes, get some more relish out because I have to have extra relish. It's my thing. Anyone knows me knows I am pickle obsessed, but it has to be dill pickles. I love anything brined, so I'm gonna go ahead and get that ready, and then we just assemble. That's it. Look at how gorgeous are those. I mean, honestly, mouth is salivating. They are so beautiful. Hit them with just a little bit of salt when they come out of the fryer or whatever. Take some French rolls, any soft roll. This is not the time and place for a crunchy Italian roll, okay? Which I know, I sound like a crazy person, but hear me out. This is how I build them. You build them how you want. A little bit of remoulade on the bottom. This is beyond in terms of deliciousness. And then, hold up, I like some tomatoes. Okay, that's an extra slice. Hold up. Then, because you know how I feel about seasoning each layer, then you pile it on with your crunchy shrimps. Then you do a little bit of lettuce. The crunch is important here, okay? I have to have, I'm trying to do this one-handed, which is not easy to do, have to have some relish because, like I said, it's just who I am. And then a bit more remoulade. It's who I am, it's how I am built. That, if I could have my knife right now. That right now, and then you just take it and you kind of squidge it. You kind of just, oh, you know what? You don't even know, but now you know. Honestly, top notch, and then some. Divine. Just, the shrimp is perfect, the sauce is to die for, the lettuce is important, the tomato is important, the soft roll is important. It's all important in creating the best po' boy sandwich. Go to laureninthekitchen.com for the written recipe. I cannot wait to devour this. I hope you enjoy spending time with me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.